Hey guys, Grifton here, and today we're going to talk about Phase 4. Now with Phase 4 coming out much earlier than I anticipated, I decided to hurry up and put out a video talking about gear. For those of you in full BIS rating gear from BT and Hygel, you're not going to see much, but there will be some upgrades or maybe alternative side grades you'd be interested in, so stay tuned. Okay, let's get started, and we are going to start with Zul'aman. Now for the first 4 bosses of Zul'aman, there will be the opportunity for 1 piece of extra loot. You'll need to kill the bosses before the time expires at the top of your screen, and every time you kill a boss, a small amount of time gets added to that. So killing the 4 bosses in roughly 30 minutes will net you 4 pieces of extra loot. It's a different loot table, so I'll separate them. Also, all bosses have the opportunity to drop this enchant. I know this only applies to enchanters, but anyone going armor pen should be aware this exists. Okay, so first boss is Akelzan, aka the lightning guy. Now he doesn't actually have any regular loot you'd care about, however in his chest there's a decent haste cloak. Now I don't plan to go haste, but if you are a haste stan, this is a great pickup and you're almost guaranteed to get the first chest. But yeah, next boss is MALACRASS, aka the bear boss. He drops the Blade Angel's money belt. It's an armor pen belt. If you're going armor pen for your cat, remember for armor pen to be valuable you need at least 400 plus, so it's better to grab high armor pen pieces if you can. This 77 isn't great, but if you're going heavy armor pen, every piece can help. But speaking of armor pen, in the chest there are 2 rings. One is a great armor pen ring. If you're going armor pen, this is a must. Solid stats and solid armor pen. The second ring is great for tanking. Like Fire Elementals on Illidan, the Stam Resil combo is really strong against non-armor stuff like that. I wouldn't pay a ton for this in a GDKP, but if you're a fresh alt looking to get crit capped, this could help. Alright, let's move on to Janalai, aka the bird boss. So there's no chest loot here, but he himself drops this chest. More armor pen, however, with 0 gem slots on the chest, it's slightly a downgrade for you. But again, if this is an alt and you want to try out armor pen, snag it up, shouldn't be much competition. Next boss is Halazi, aka the bear mount boss. Guess what he drops? Yeah, the bear mount. On top of that, he also has these decent shoulders. I would take almost any purple over these shoulders. Tier 6, Tier 5, Stranger. I might even wear Tier 4 with the set. But if you don't have anything purple, it's likely an upgrade. Also, there's this haste neck. Yeah, just, I guess, root for a good roll on the bear. If you don't know, the bear itself is a guaranteed drop if you get down the 4 bosses in time. So it'll just come down to roll or having to pay gold for it, depending on what you're running it for. Okay, now we're into the 2 final bosses, and though they don't have chest loot, they'll drop... their drops get a little bit better for those like fully geared out. First up, we have Hexlord MALACRASS, aka the guy with the ads. For him, you only have 1 item, and it's very interesting. It's the Staff of Primal Fury. Now, if you have the Hygel weapon, you'll likely stick with that for bear, but for cat, this might be the way to go. With a few pieces of armor pen in other slots, you could easily start seeing increase in DPS from all of the armor pen. You might even use this on trash as a bear. Either way, it's a 1-class weapon, so grab it, because it's probably going to go to you, unless there's multiple bears in your group, which could be the case. Okay, so the final boss in ZA is Zul'aman. Now, he has 2 items to look at. The Grim Grin Face Guard doesn't have a meta slot. Now, if you're an alt that doesn't have a lot of gemmable gear, which has happened to me on some of my alts, this might be the perfect helm for you temporarily. Once you get into bigger content, you'll be upgrading out of it pretty quick, but early days, this has a lot of stats and gems and hit. All great fresh 70 stats. The other item, Berserker's Call, is likely what the fully geared melee that are in your group came for. This is a direct upgrade to Bloodlust Brooch, so if you're using that for Snap Threat, you'll definitely want to grab this too. Or instead, I guess, as an improvement. Okay, but that's it for ZA loot. But wait, we still have a bunch of badge loot. There was no easy way to sort this stuff, so I just made up weird categories, more for fun than any logic. Now these badge items are significantly more expensive than the previous items available, so be prepared to run Kara and Heroics again with a lot of alts. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first group I called non-leather pieces. First up we have Idol of Terror. Now for overall raid performance, Frail Druids should be using the Raven God they got from their Swift Flight Form quest, because it helps their group out. Now, if you're a fresh 70 or just an undergeared alt, this is a great pickup. Now, we have 2 cloaks to discuss too. The first one is Slicks. It's a great one for a fresh bear trying to get crit immune and be more survivable. If you don't have thorium, I'd snag this. And even if you do have thorium, if you have the room to lose the defense, you might like the extra dodge. Now, Dory's cloak is a different story. While not having the high armor of the 2 I just mentioned, this guy has everything else: stamina, resilience, attack power, crit, and even armor pen. Even a fully decked out druid will probably want to snag this up for a great threat cloak. That also gives crit immunity, which if you're in, Black Temple Hyjal, you're trying to put on these more threat pieces of gear, and you're running out of space because you need to keep crit immunity on. This is a great compromise where you can wear a threat piece but also get crit immunity. Okay, so the Brooch of Deafness is a weird egg. Lots of stam, hit, and expertise. If you're going for a high expertise level, you can drop your Brazil-neck. This could work, but I'm not sure I'd make the sacrifice. I'm not sure who would want this, but I'm sure somebody does. Okay, so next category is the bonus armor pieces. Pieces that have extra armor. So the vestments are cool, but lacking gem slots. That's pretty much a thing. If you're getting a chest that doesn't have the 3 gem slots, it's almost always going to be a loss for you. But it does have armor pen, so a fresh cat might want to grab them to get an early jump on high armor pen. I imagine, like, if you're fresh 70, you're doing the heroics, you're doing Zul'aman, so you're seeing a lot of armor pen. This is definitely going to boost that collection up. The Band of the Swift Paw are better than they seem. Most of us bears wear the PvP wrist, but if you're a non-PvP bear, this might be an upgrade for you. Foot wraps of Wild Encroachment are nice, especially for catch-up gear, but there are a handful of better boots for those that are running BT every week. So if you've got one of those, go ahead and grab them. If not, this might be a great one for you. Waistguard of the Great Beast. Now this sounds like a bear piece. Solid item. Again, great catch-up gear, but there are better belts. Belts of 100 Deaths, the bane of my existence because it will never drop for me, exists. So grab that if you can. Okay, so next category I called Quick Ninja. More out of humor than anything. Okay, so Shallow Grave Trousers are your standard haste legs. Stats are actually pretty solid. And then you've got your Trickster's Sticky Fingers, and they go right along with them, having similarly scaled stats. Now, I hate dragging haste. I mean, haste was a bear's bread and butter in Classic. If you're a druid that stacks haste, let me know how it goes. I really want to know if there's something there. But next up, we have the Ninja Tabby Boots. For Cat, these are Bis or second Bis behind Shadowmasters. It's really close. I'm not 100% sure. But the name is actually really cool because it sounds like ninja, but it's spelled weird. If you're a bear that cats a lot, you might want to snag these, especially if you don't have the Shadowmasters. And the last item is Master Assassin Wrist Wraps. Great for a cat trying to catch up. I think PvP wrists are better even for a cat, though. I could be wrong. It's very close. Okay, so that's it. There's actually quite a bit of loot in what seems like a very small phase. I hope this video at least gave you an idea of what's coming your way. And if I missed something or you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of video, as it really helps me out. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, take care.